So I'm going bald, and this hasn't been the easiest stage of life for me. So as you can see, it's pretty bad, like really bad. But instead of avoiding this, I've decided that it's time to enter my bald-headed era. So I don't want you to think that I've come to this conclusion easily. It's been a process, a 4-year grieving process to be exact. So I want to do a service for all you men out there that are going bald. I want to give you a heads up on what's to come when you finally face the reality that you're balding. Because it's a journey. And I'll do this by introducing you to the 5 stages of grief, Baldhead Edition. When you realize that you are balding, there's a concerted effort to avoid the fact that you are indeed balding. And this brings us to our first stage of grief, denial. Denial is the initial shock and disbelief that a loss has occurred. What this stage does is to serve as a defense mechanism that buffers us from being swept away from the immediate pain of our loss. The purpose of denial is to give the mind some time to adjust to the rapid demands that come with adjusting to our new reality. When it comes to balding, rest assured that the man who is balding but hasn't accepted that he's balding is the man who's always trying to cover up his bald scalp with something. A hat, a do-rag, a comb-over, these are the common manifestations of a balding man. And these tools serve to emotionally protect us from being overwhelmed too quickly from our shitty new reality. So, if you see someone who never walks outside their house without a hat on, there's a good chance he's balding. So a quick warning if you're around a person that's balding. The last thing you want to do is grab a person's chosen tool of denial, because there's nothing more fragile or dangerous than a balding man who isn't ready to be bald.
Give my fucking hat.
Damn, actually.
Our next stage is anger. When we are in the grieving process, the core emotions that we are going to feel are uncomfortable. These are emotions like despair and pain and hurt, vulnerability. These are usually deemed to be weak female emotions. So instead of having the courage to face emotions that we're actually feeling, us men replace these uncomfortable emotions with anger. What anger does is give us the ability to externalize some of the pain that's stirring up inside of us. When it comes to balding, I can't speak for all bald men, but here are some of the ways I dealt with my anger. Number 1, I was angry with my dad because I inherited his bald ass genes.
What up there, boy?
Number 2, I was angry at the people my age or older whose hairlines were still intact and who also had a full head of hair.
Damn!
And finally, stage number 3, I was angry at the people who got hair transplants because they were pussies. It didn't face balding head on like I had to.
That's the coward's way out. That's the coward's way out.
I'm still kind of angry about that one. Next, we have the bargaining stage of balding. When you can't accept that you're balding, you try to regain control by negotiating your way around it. The bargaining stage looks like you trying anything and everything that you can think of that will help delay you from having to experience the sadness of losing your hair. For me, the bargaining stage looked like me going to my dermatologist, hoping that they had some kind of magical serum that could help my hair grow back. It looked like me seriously contemplating ordering a shipment of that Hims hair growth spray that you see advertised all over Instagram. But my biggest bargain was researching getting a hair transplant in Turkey. I seriously contemplated flying my ass all the way to Turkey just to get that surgery. And you know what? A part of me still is. All these attempts reflect a deep desire to rewind the clock and return to the life that existed before our loss. But eventually we have to realize that there's no going back to that full head of hair. And when we realize this, we enter into the depression stage of grief. The depression stage of grief highlights the deep, overwhelming despair we feel when we finally allow ourselves to realize and confront the reality of our loss. When this happens, we are overcome with feelings. You will feel emptiness, you'll feel hopelessness, and you will withdraw from others. And this is all normal. The depression stage is an essential step towards healing. It's the most painful stage because you are directly confronting the breathtaking reality that the thing you lost is never coming back. And that feeling is very overwhelming. So after you lick your wounds, and allow yourself some time to face your new reality, you slowly begin to accept it. And this is when you enter the acceptance stage. One thing I want to make clear about this stage is that acceptance does not mean being okay with the loss, but rather recognizing that the new reality is permanent and learning how to live with it. When it came to me accepting that I was balding, the biggest thing that helped me was Dwayne Wade. I know this sounds kind of weird, but stay with me here. My wife showed me this picture of Dwayne Wade, and this picture was magically transformative. Let me give you a little lore about me. I have been growing my dreads for 15 years. My dreads have been a part of my identity for my whole adult life. I really can't even imagine myself without them. And this was one of the hardest things to let go. But when I saw this picture, it gave me an alternative perspective of how I could possibly look. And it wasn't that bad. My mind started to shift from clinging on to my dreads to growing out this nice, sexy, luscious beard and getting that nice, sexy, bald-headed beard combo that you guys are about to witness in a few moments. This shit looks crazy. I don't know what to think, yo. It's gonna take some getting used to. Woo-wee. What do y'all think? Let me know in the comments. It's definitely gonna take some getting used to. What's going on, guys? So, it's been a week since I made the plunge in accepting my baldness and cutting off my dreads after 15 years of growing them. So let me start by giving you some of my initial impressions. What can you expect when you finally dive into the deep end and cut off all your hair and embrace going bald? So the first thing, I did not like it. Now this might be something specific to me because a lot of you dudes, when you go bald for the first time, you know, that shit's already knocked out in the middle. You know, your hairline's already pushed back. So that shit looks horrible. So it's an automatic upgrade when you shave your head for the first time. But for me, a lot of people didn't know I was balding. If you follow this channel or have followed this channel for a long time, you had no clue I was balding. So I had 15 years in between haircuts. 15 years since I last saw myself look like this. And that shit was jarring when I cut my hair off for the first time and I saw myself. I automatically knew I hated the way that I looked. There was no middle ground. I hated it. Absolutely hated it. And I hated it because this hairstyle was forced on me. God, Father Time, biology had forced this bald, shiny ass head on me. And this is not the hairstyle that I want. If I had a choice, I would not be looking like this right now. This is forced upon me. And I don't like that shit. I hated it. So when it comes to accepting that, it's been hard. Like I'm not gonna be one to say like this is the hardest thing in my life. Going bald is this hard thing, but it's pretty damn tough. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. It is an emotional experience. Those first couple of days were brutal. I would look at myself in the mirror and I said, who the f are you in my house? Who is this man? Who is this ugly motherfucker looking at me in my mirror? Who are you? I was mad. And I said, oh, shit, that's me. I have to have fun with this because I'm still accepting this. I'm not fully there yet. It's getting better with time, I promise you. My point is that I saw a lot of videos and a lot of dudes was like, oh man, this is great. Man, I look great bald. That was the experience I wanted, but it's definitely not the experience that I actually experienced. And I feel like a lot of dudes probably bullshit themselves into believing that, but not I. I hated the way I looked when I first got bald. But there's another side to this. There's a more hopeful side to it. The beard. If you have a bald head, the beard is a must. You gotta find your right beard, and I'm finding it now. So it's improved greatly. Still not quite yet there, but we're getting closer to the final product. What's another thing I can talk about? There's a lot of denial that I went through that first week. Your hair grows back so fast. There was a part of me that saw my hair growing back, and I was like, hold on. Maybe it's gonna look good real short. Maybe I can get a lineup and I can grow my hair out and have a nice fade and it's gonna look good. That shit looked crazy when I grew it out. I thought that I could grow my hair out and that it would hide my bald spot. But no, when my hair grew out, you could see the bald spot clearly. And that was just another nail in the coffin of me having to accept that I was bald. It's like there's no other hairstyle that I can accept. It's bald or nothing. So I have to accept it. When I grew my hair out a little bit in that week, you could clearly see the bald spot right here. That shit looked ridiculous. So I had to cut my hair and I didn't want to use razors. That shit's so old school and time consuming and shaving cream. I did not want to use razors. I didn't want to use my shaver because my head's so sensitive. I would break out. There'd be bumps and razor burn all over my head. So I did a little research and I found this. A pit bull gold. I just used this thing this morning for the first time. A lovely, beautiful experience. This thing gets close to the bone, all right? My head feels smooth and I love it. This thing, 3 minutes, if I'm just, rushing, 5 minutes, if I'm trying to get nice, neat in the lines, a sweet, beautiful shave head, doesn't take more than 5 minutes. This thing, I highly recommend it. For any bald head dude looking for something that's gonna cut your hair nice and fast, I highly recommend this thing. I'll leave an Amazon link in the description. And I can help you, you can help me out. I get a commission on that thing. I'm not trying to sell this to anyone. I'm just giving you a heads up on something that helped me transition from being a dude with dreads to being a bald-headed guy. I'm gonna have to shave every 2 or 3 days and this thing makes it a whole lot easier. So don't say I never helped you out. But yeah, it's been a week, y'all. This thing, it's getting easier with time. Maybe in 3 or 4 months, in a year, this is just gonna be something I accept, that's something I fully embrace, something that I actually love. I'm not gonna front for you balding dudes out there. This is an adjustment. It's an adjustment for me. It's been tough. But every day it gets a little easier. But I just wanna give you guys an update. Love you guys, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.